This is the Pit Stop.
Hi, I'm Tom Pitt, and I've already forgotten more than the average person knows about cars. So today, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about what I know about batteries. We'll talk about their composition, we'll talk about how to charge them, and we'll talk about what to do if you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere with a dead battery. We'll also touch just a little bit on cleaning those, so stay tuned. Your modern car battery is made with a heavy plastic case. On the inside, it has lead, sulfuric acid, and water. Sticking out, you're going to have two lead posts, one for the positive side and one for the negative side. On the battery, you'll see a couple of numbers. You'll see a cold cranking amps number, which is how many amps this battery can produce at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and a cranking amps, and that number is how many amps it can produce at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. There's also a sticker somewhere on the battery to indicate when this was made. This particular battery was made in March of 2016. In the case that you have a dead battery, the easiest and most convenient way to remedy that is with one of these. This is called a jump box. Now, I understand not everyone's going to have a jump box at their house or in their car, so we'll talk about jumper cables in a bit. But let's see how this works first. First, we'll take this positive clamp and we'll put it on the positive battery cable. Next, we'll take the negative, and instead of putting that on the battery where it could spark, we're going to put this on an engine ground somewhere. In this case, we can use this hood latch. If you're lucky enough to have your car break down at your own home, or your battery die at your own home, you could likely use one of these. This is a battery charger. The way that this works, it plugs into a standard 110 outlet, turn it on, and these clamps are going to go on the battery. Let's see how it works on this car. With this battery charger, it's a little bit different from the jump box because we can turn it off and on. On this, we can actually put our clamps on the positive and on the negative. At this point, the charger's not even plugged in, so there's no concern about sparks or explosions. After we make sure the charger's turned off, we're going to plug this in, and then we can turn it on. To turn the charger on, we're going to select our volts and amps. We can go as low as 10 amps, or if we need to jump start the vehicle, we can go on 200 amp engine start. Once that's selected, we'll turn on our timer. Now, most people probably won't have a battery charger or a jump box at their disposal. In that case, you're probably left your only option as being a nice set of jumper cables. A lot of folks use these incorrectly though. Let's see how they work. Now, to conserve space, we're going to do both sets of jumper cables on this car just to show you how it works. The first step is to take the positive jumper cable, the red, and put it on the red post of the good car. The next step is to take the other end of the red lead and put it on the positive on the dead car. Again, we're using the same car. Then we're going to take the negative lead, the black lead, on the good car and put it on the ground. Finally, on the dead car, we're going to put the negative cable not on the battery, but on somewhere away from the battery that's grounded. In this case, we'll use this strut mount. Now you're probably asking, why hook it up like this? I've hooked up batteries to batteries my whole life. Well, the reason for that is if you touch this lead onto that battery, it's going to cause a spark. Like this. And as I said before, a discharged battery will put out hydrogen gas, and it's highly explosive. It's really just a matter of safety. Now, if you have a battery with these lead posts or the terminals that have corrosion on those, the best thing to do is clean those with either a mixture of baking soda and water and a wire brush or a battery cleaner and protector. And this spray actually helps to remove the corrosion, and it helps to protect the battery so that no water, dirt, dust, salt, or other contaminants get in between the post and the terminal. If you've been around cars for very long, you may have seen something like this. Pennies on the battery. You may have asked yourself, why are there pennies on the battery? Well, rumor has it that pennies placed upon a battery will cause corrosion to go away from the posts and onto the pennies. There's an easier way around this. Keeping these terminals clean with a good wire brush will prevent corrosion altogether. It saves you the trouble and it saves you your pennies. Using a wire brush to clean the terminals on a battery is going to help because it's going to remove all of the corrosion and all of the things that cause corrosion. Dust, dirt, salt from the roads in the wintertime. It's going to keep these clean and free of debris. Here's our first myth that we're going to debunk. Some folks are going to tell you that it's okay to pour soda on a battery to clean that. I'm going to tell you that's a bad idea. Here's why. Ow. Sodas have acid in those, and the acid is also what causes the corrosion on these battery terminals. Acid's going to eat away a little bit of that, but it's not going to neutralize it, so it's not really going to fix the problem. In addition, if you pour soda on this battery, it's going to run down and it's going to get in all the other electrical components, possibly on the tires and on the side of your vehicle. And that's more problem than you want. If you're like many folks, what I'm getting ready to do will probably make you a little bit nervous. Lots of folks are real concerned about putting a battery on a concrete floor because they've heard their entire lives that concrete will drain a car battery. Well, looks like that's all we have time for today. Hopefully, during this episode, you've learned maybe not everything you need to know about a battery charge, but everything that doesn't involve a public defender. Until next time, I'm Tom Pitt, reminding you to keep it between the lines and the shiny side up.
Rawr, I'm gonna eat you. Rawr.
I'm adding that.
Is it recording now? Okay. Today we're going to talk about batteries. What'd I say? Our next step is to make sure the charger's off and plug the charger in. Are you sure?
Yes.